Speaking of impacts, let's talk a little bit about June and Dean Prentice, the late June and Dean Prentice, who were very valuable members of Hockey Ministries International for a long, long time. Let's talk about them a little bit and the impact that they had on your life, especially during your illness.
Dean, to provide information, played close to 1,400 games in the National Hockey League. He played in the era of Gordie Howe in Detroit. Scored 391 goals, 400 plus assists, 890 points. And Dean was something for me. As Rob alluded to, in 1999, I had Guillain-Barré syndrome, a time in my life where all I saw was complete darkness. I fell into a hard depression. I had Guillain-Barré syndrome, an illness that afflicts the immune system. And at that particular time, hospital life was not something that I was quite familiar with. Dean was our chaplain with the Kitchener Rangers. He lived 20 minutes away in Cambridge, Ontario. I was led to attend chapels, Bible study at different times. But where Dean was so impactful to me, and he would call in the morning knowing that I was in a hospital an hour and 20 minutes away in London, Ontario. And the one morning I didn't pick up the phone. And back then we didn't have these, pocket phones. And sure enough, it's mid-January. Dean decided to drive in a snowstorm. And at this point, to provide perspective, I'm on a heavy dose of morphine. I'm thinking I'm actually addicted to morphine at this point. Certainly helping with the pain, but more darkness is all I see. And if anybody's ever been on a heavy dose of morphine for an extended period of time, the dreams that you have are worse than nightmares, right? You're seeing different things that are nastier than monsters. And I'm shaking in bed and I'm tossing and turning, and Dean comes in and he stands next to the bed and he stops me from shaking and not. And he says, "Serge, it's okay. The Lord is with you." And Dean had this impact on people, and I asked the question, who's familiar with Dean Prentice here in the room? And as Dean played 22 years in the National Hockey League, we realized as parents that time flies. It's not about the 22 years that Dean Prentice played in the National Hockey League. It's not about the goals. It's not about the assists. It never is. And this message is for the children. It's about how impactful you can be for the next generation of people that you surround yourself with. I don't care to the children that are in the room, and there's some great familiar faces. It's not about how many goals you score in the season. And those are great things to strive for and continue to compete to be the best version of yourself. But at the end of the day, it's the positive influence and the impacts that you have on the people that you're around. That is what it's all about. And Dean Prentice had that impact in my life. And today I'm more than blessed to have him in my life. Unfortunately, he's passed away. Speaking of Dean, he couldn't have done it on his own. June, for those who know June, his wife, she was the kindest, warmest young individual. I call her the perfect angel wife for Dean because she watched over her. And for those that know June or known June, you would probably very much agree. So I miss them dearly. I love them and I thank them.